Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to another evening of Learning Islam with Masjid As-Sabur, Sacramento, located at 4926 15th Avenue, Sacramento, California. You know, we've been doing these programs for a few years now, and one of the critical things we always start with is Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. I openly bear witness there is no God but the one God, and I openly bear witness that Muhammad, to whom the Quran is revealed, is his slave servant and apostle. Again, Assalamu alaikum, peace and blessings be upon you. My dear audience, brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, children. You know, many times people ask us as Muslim why we don't allow singing in the masjid. And I was just thinking about that. And I was thinking about it because in our religion, our real music comes in part of the ways that we as Muslims behave. We begin with a chant called the Adab to let people know it's time to pray. And when we pray, we recite Arabic scriptures in chants. And they are very beautiful. They can make your eyes tear up and you cry. And we do this in every prayer service that we have. And since we pray 5 times a day, every day, we have about 35 opportunities to experience this. And I was thinking, now that's a lot of chanting, but yet and still we don't allow singing. Why don't we allow singing? And then I got an understanding that as Muslims, the human voice is used for sacred reasons. And singing, yes, can be sacred, and I love gospel music, but gospel music can sometimes get you so involved in the rhythm and the sound that you forget the message. And see, with us always emphasizing the message through the various chants, we're trying to educate the mind to keep you focused. But that's a divergence. Let's explain that. Because tonight we're talking about Islamic behavior, part 2, called Adab. Now, one of the major characteristics of Adab or Islamic behavior is patience. Why patience? Nothing comes without patience. Now, how do we know that? Well, remember when we were little? Oh man, I can't wait till it's summer. Oh man, I can't wait till it's Christmas or whatever. We were always impatient to move on. Now we got old and we're just going, oh God, why is it moving so fast? Patience. We're going to begin with a reading today from the 3rd chapter of the Holy Quran, called the chapter of the family of Imran. The family of Imran is a chapter that was revealed around 2 of the biggest battles in the Muslim history. The Battle of Badr, which was the first major battle where the Muslims defeated the enemies of Islam, and then the Battle of Uhud, which is the battle in which the Muslims disobeyed Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, and almost suffered a very bloody defeat, with the Prophet's life even being put at risk. So this ayat was one of those revealed, this verse was one of those revealed after the Battle of Uhud. The Muslims were able to regroup and basically retreat orderly, but they did not win the battle as they had at Badr. And this verse was revealed. So let us begin. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. I seek refuge with God from the rejected enemy. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. With the name of God, most gracious, most merciful. O ye who believe, persevere in patience and constancy. Vie in such perseverance, strengthen each other, and fear Allah that you may prosper. Another translation of the same verses reads, O you who have attained the faith, be patient in adversity, vie in patience with one another, and be ever ready to do what is right and remain conscious of God so that you might attain to a happy state. You know, it's interesting that our masjid's name is Sabur, or patience. And every time I think about how our community has prospered over the years, I have to remember that it's only been through the power of patience. You know, we get so excited about instantaneous gratification. We win the lotto, we win this, we win that, da 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 da. But the people that are truly successful are the people that on a daily basis save their money, manage their lives to build up a wealth to sustain them when they reach retirement or have a goal that they want to attain. But this is a society where instant pleasure is the norm. And we always want everything now, and we don't want to work hard for it, and we don't want to spend years and years and years to get where we need to go. Yet that is the way we got to where we are right now. If you notice, most of us are adults, which means we've had to wait about 20, 21 years to get to where we are, or maybe even a little longer, and for some of us, a lot longer. And yet, we fall into the lie that this society gives us, that we don't have to be patient. Now, for the Muslim, patience is one of those attributes, one of those characteristics that we must have. Why must we have patience? Because it is only in incremental steps that we move from place to place. It's like that old story. How do you walk across the country? You start with one step. Because as long as you're thinking about walking and ain't took a step, you can't make it. And then once you take that one step, you just got to say, okay, I took one, let me make another. And just keep making them. And you know what? You'll end up on the other side of the country. And people will go, how did he do it? How did he do it? And if you listen to the people that have done things like that, I just took one day at a time, one step at a time, and kept moving. Most of us try and imagine going from point A to point B instantaneously instead of saying, look, all I got to do is get from point A plus one step. And then another step. And then another step. And I'll end up eventually at point B. But if I never make the effort to take that first step, if I never have the patience and the faith, because see, patience and faith actually run together. If you have faith, you can have patience. Because faith, and some people call it hope, says, I know I will get there. No matter what I have to go through, I know I will and can get there. But you see, today, we have a society that says, well, man, if you can't get there in 5 minutes, it ain't worth going. Lord help you if your doctor had thought like that. Because you see, when you go to your doctor, you ain't going to the 5-minute doctor. You going to the I went to Yale, I went to Harvard, I went to Stanford, and then I practiced in a hospital for 5 years, and now I'm here. That's my doctor. That's who I want looking at me. But now if you ask me if I could go through, oh no, man, I can't stay in school that long. And if they had not had the hope that they would be able to help other people, they wouldn't have stayed in school that long either. And then where would you be? Oh man, I need a doctor. I laugh at us in our foolishness. We don't have the patience to strive to get to where we really want to be. So we end up just about anywhere. You know, I was laughing at somebody who gave me some quotes. He said, hope is like the sun, which as we journey towards it casts the shadow of our burden behind us. And he says, you cannot plow a field by turning it over in your mind. You know, you think about that for a minute. Here we are, I want food. I'm going to think about plowing. Ain't no food got planted. And think about the farmer. Here's the man that gets up before daylight, takes care of the chickens, the cows, everything else before breakfast, has his breakfast, and then works all day in the field cultivating the soil so that he can put in plants that will grow and feed us. Or so he can grow livestock, cattle, lambs, chickens, whatever, so that they will feed us. And he can't afford to sit up in the house and think about what he's going to do. He's got to get out there and start doing it. Now at night, when he gets in, he plans what he's going to do the next day. But as soon as that sun starts to come up, he's got to be doing. What about us? You know, I look at our society. We allow healthy, able-bodied, mentally competent human beings to waste their days because they ain't getting paid. And I do mean waste their days. For Muslims, when you don't have something to do that you're paid for, do something that will do some good. You know, we don't want to just leave things the way they are. Every time we step into a situation, we should have the desire to improve the situation. Even if it's by doing nothing else other than picking up the paper off the sidewalk and putting it in a trash can. Do something to make the area you inhabit better than it was before you got there. Vi means fight or struggle in the way of doing good. Now for Muslim Adab, remember the first characteristic we gave was grateful. We are always grateful. We're grateful first to God, but we're grateful to every human being around us that is doing good and helping us to do good. The second characteristic is patience. We will survive and succeed. We will survive and succeed. We will survive and succeed. I remember how the Christians used to describe the Muslims when they were fighting them. He said, they're crazy. They love death more than they love life. No, they don't love death more than they love life, but they know that if they die striving to do God's will, they have paradise. And no, they ain't We ain't talking about I'm going up there just to get me some 40 virgins. That's some foolishness. Paradise is being able to be in the presence of your Creator and be at peace. Have you ever noticed the one characteristic that everybody wants but doesn't understand in this world is peace? You know, we set up artificial devices to inspire us to work towards peace. Well, man, if I could have this, I'd be at peace. You get that, and then you want something else. Well, man, if I had this and that, I'd be at peace. Oh, no. We even do it with people. Oh, if I was just with so-and-so, I'd be at peace. Nope. Next thing you know, you're cheating on so-and-so. Why? Because you are an imperfect human being that without the controlling power of your relationship with God will spin off. Remember how we began? I openly bear witness that there is no God but the one God. Now, why do I say that? Because that is what every Muslim says to start their life as a Muslim. Now, why is it important to say no gods but the one God? Well, you see, we forget that in this world we have so many gods that we artificially create. Oh, that sister is so beautiful. If I just had her in my life, I'd be at peace. Nope. Set yourself up right then and there. Oh man, if I just had that house, I would be at peace. Oh, set yourself up again. Got another God. Oh, if I just had that car. Oh, set yourself up again. Another God. See, everything that you worship, everything that you work for, everything that you devote your energy to achieve becomes your God. That's why in Arabic they say, La, no, ilaha, gods, illallah, but Allah, the one God. In other words, the first thing that you start is la, no. Why? Because we will make gods out of anything. I've had people walk around so in love with their cell phone. You've seen videos of them. They so in love with the cell phone, they'll walk into a fountain. They'll walk into a wall. They'll walk out in the middle of traffic and get killed because their cell phone has become their God. I got to stay in touch. I got to. Please. What did you do before a cell phone? You waited till you got somewhere and you called somebody. But now we, constant communication. I mean, why do I want to know what you had for lunch? I don't give a blank. But that is the world of today, and these little devices have become gods of their own. Let alone our material possession gods, and let alone our lust gods, and let alone our material desire gods. They're all out there attracting us, and as long as we don't say la, they gonna have power. As long as we don't say no, they got power. Why are we now defined as an addictive society? You ever notice that they call us an addictive society? What do they mean by that? They mean that we'll go for the okie doke from anybody. That's what an addictive society means. It means we have no strong enough internal character and characteristics to be able to resist the temptations that the devil will put in front of us. And when the devil puts them in front of you, he knows that you have the opportunity to say no, but he knows you won't. And it's so funny. One guy said this. He says, believe with all of your heart that you will do what you were made to do. That's Orson Swett Martin. And then Johann Wolfgang Goethe. Knowing is not enough. We must apply. Willing is not enough. We must do. And see, for the Muslim, that characteristic of doing and applying is a key ingredient to being a Muslim. You know, one Muslim scholar once said that we are a religion of orthopraxy, not orthodoxy. Now, orthopraxy means we judge people by what they do. We're not as worried about the theological implications and discussions that go on within our minds. We are concerned with, do you pray 5 times a day? Do you give charity? Do you fast during the month of Ramadan? And are you striving to go on the pilgrimage at least once in your life? Those are all things that you do. And it's so critical in our religion that you do, because sometimes the very act of doing reinforces the belief that you start off with. If you praying 5 times a day and you are sincerely praying, those prayers help you. Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, once said, he was asked by one of his followers, "Dear Holy Apostle, if a man bathes 5 times a day, can he truly ever get dirty?" And the Prophet said no. And he said, prayer is like that bath. You may get in the world and you may get all wrapped up in stuff, but if prayer time comes and you stop and you go make wudu and clean up and do everything and then go out and pray and come back, you have a different perspective and are not as easily influenced to go back to what you were doing. But that is for the man or the woman that is dedicated to prayer. Because this world gives you all kinds of, well, man, I'm at work, I can't pray. Oh, man, I'm in the car, I can't pray. Oh, man, I'm going to meet the boss, I can't pray. And see, God has an explanation for that too. He said, look, if you are in difficulty, then wait until you are at peace and pray. But pray. He said the first thing that the human being will be judged upon on the day of judgment is how well they have done their prayers. Now remember, I said the Muslims are supposed to do 5 prayers a day mandatory. So that's what we're judged on first. Did you do all your 5 prayers on time every day? And then if you didn't do that, that's why we also do what they call sunnah, or extra prayers, just to help cover us in case we didn't do the mandatory prayers perfectly. And then it says, and likewise will all of the other actions of the human being be judged. So as Muslims, 1, we are grateful. 2, we are patient. 3, we know that only by acting can we ever achieve anything. And we thank God for that. Now, as we interact with Jews, Christians, whoever else, the key thing that our Lord teaches us is strive together as in a race towards all that is good. God knows well whatever you do. We are here in competition to do good. We're not here in competition to make people Muslim. God makes Muslims. We as human beings don't. We're not here in competition to prove that we're better than you are. Maybe we're not. We're here to prove that we are the best we can be. I love competition, but sometimes you got to get to the point where if you don't make yourself better, you will not be able to succeed. And as Muslims, we are always striving to be better 5 minutes from now than we are right now. So, with that little explanation of Adab, or Muslim behavior and characteristics, we'd like to close our program this evening. If you have any questions, masjid-as-sabur.org on the World Wide Web. Come by and see us, 4926 15th Avenue. Sacramento, California. We also would like to invite you to, call us, email us, or whatever you need to do so that we can help you learn more about this religion. We think it's a great opportunity for everybody, whether you become Muslim or not, to learn more about God's will for your life. And we hope that we can bring that inspiration to everyone. So again, 1:30 p.m. every Friday, 4926 15th Avenue. Call us, get us on the web, come by and see us. Again, I close with the greetings of all the prophets from Abraham to Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Giving our audience notice of the opening of Masjid As-Sabur, Sacramento in Oak Park, a brand new facility, and we'll be inviting you all to come and join us in making it useful to the community. So please, let us acknowledge all of God's blessings.